What's up guys, it's Unique Visuals and I'm back here with another video. I want to go ahead and actually today talk about the A7R II and is it still worth it in 2018? And let me go ahead and just tell you the answer right now if you're just waiting, is that yes, it's definitely worth it in control settings. And what I mean about that is that if you're doing wedding photography, yes, it's a great camera because hey, if you didn't take that vertical shot, guess what? Now you can crop it because you had a 42 megapixel size sensor. However, it's definitely not great when it's not a control setting. Meaning when, let's say the bride is walking down the aisle, you need to take those rapid shots and you can't because the autofocus isn't as great, but you're also limited to 5 frames per second, which is not great at all. Now, the other things, the advantage besides, you know, having that 42.4 megapixels is that you're able to have dynamic range. And that dynamic range is just amazing. And I can't not complain whatsoever. There's been times that I've taken some awful, hideous pictures and yet my pictures came out great and amazing because that dynamic range just saved my butt. And sometimes I don't always change my white balance, or sometimes if I leave it in auto white balance, I don't get the right exposure that I needed. And so it just makes everything look weird, but in post, I'm able to correct that. And I wish it was that easy for video. Unfortunately, it's not. But when it comes to the A7R II for photo, it's an amazing camera, so it's definitely worth it. Now, there are some drawbacks due to its battery size, only one dual card slot. If you're doing this as a professional, you know you always want to back up your work, but at the same time, as a professional, you got to make sure your contracts are on point. So if you're definitely doing wedding photography or commercial photography and you don't have a clause in there for data loss or anything of that sort, then you definitely should put that in there. Now, moving aside from that, the A7R II, it's a great camera. I still love the body. I enjoy it a lot. It hasn't given me any issues, to be honest. And I primarily use it for photos. So if it's still worth it in 2018, definitely yes, for photos. It's an amazing camera. And if you pair that with the Tamron 28mm to 75mm f2.8, you won't be, if you pair that with the Tamron 28mm to 75mm f2.8, you won't be disappointed. It's a great camera. It's sharp with that lens as well. And also, I definitely recommend you using it with the 85mm full frame f1.8. That's like an amazing combo right there, especially for portraits. Now, look, it's up to you if you want to spend the money to be able to get it. Right now, it's around $2,000 brand new, a little bit under that. It's around really the same price range as the A7 III. Just keep in mind that this camera is more for photo purposes than it is for video. So I hope with that, I hope you solve that issue if it's still worth in 2018. But if you like this video, go ahead and drop down a like and subscribe to the channel. So with that, stay tuned guys, I got more videos coming out.